Humanity is certainly capable of some interesting things, and artwork can be anything. From small fairies to enormous horses, here are some captivating sculptures from around the world. Man Hanging Out. Located in the streets of Prague's Old Town is a sculpture that is alarming upon first sighting. This sculpture up in the air above the street is known as Man Hanging Out, and that man is Sigmund Freud. Created in 1996 by sculptor David Cherney, this piece is seen as deliberately provocative, like much of Cherney's work. However, it is said to simply be a statement about Cherney's uncertainty regarding intellectualism in the 20th century. The Man Hanging Out is a popular piece and has been displayed many places around the world before it landed back in its home in Prague. Non-violence. This bronze sculpture, titled Non-Violence, or known as the Knotted Gun, was created by Swedish artist Carl Fredrik Reuterswärd. The sculpture depicts a magnum revolver with its barrel tied in a knot. In response to John Lennon of the Beatles being shot in 1980, Reuterswärd made the sculpture as a statement against violence and completed it in 1985. There are 31 copies of the sculpture around the world. Some are even examples of different types of firearms than the original, which is located in Malmö, Sweden. Beatles member Ringo Starr unveiled his own brightly colored version of the sculpture in 2011. According to Nobel Prize winner Kofi Annan, when referencing the sculpture, it has enriched the consciousness of humanity with a powerful symbol that encapsulates in a few simple curves the greatest prayer of man, that which asks not for victory, but for peace. Number 13. Les Voyageurs. Artist Bruno Catalano has created a series of sculptures known as Les Voyageurs, named because each of them shows a person traveling with a bag of some sort. It is clear that they are setting out on a journey. What is most interesting about them is that each of them is missing a significant portion of the center of their bodies. It's as if they're leaving a part of themselves behind, or perhaps on a mission to find and complete themselves. Catalano himself is a global nomad, having grown up in Morocco and various places in France, before becoming a sailor and sailing around the world. These sculptures resonate with the modern soul and also reflect their creator very well. Fairies at Trentham. All throughout the gardens of the Trentham estate, you'll find these fairies. The sculptor, Robin White, first started creating the wire fairies in 2010, and the first fairy trail was in 2012 at the Oakamore Village Festival. They hid 11 fairies along a trail in the woods and handed out leaflets challenging attendees to find them all. It was there that Amanda Dawson, the marketing manager for the Trentham estate, saw them and fell in love. The first 7 fairies arrived in the gardens at Trentham in October of 2012, and as of today, there are a total of 21 fairies, and each of them has their own name and unique pose or action. Do you think you could find them all? Devar Capone. Devar Capone is a humorous statue in Sint-Jans-Molenbeek, Belgium, by artist Tom Franzen. The statue depicts a policeman being tripped by a man popping out of a manhole cover. The name of the sculpture references this man as Vart Capone, which roughly translates to cheeky canal worker, and is certainly a fun depiction of resistance to authority. The Kelpies. In Falkirk, Scotland, you'll find these 30-foot-tall horseheads alongside the Forth and Clyde Canal, which is a new canal extension built as part of the Helix Land Transformation Project. The Kelpies are a monument to horse-powered heritage across Scotland. Their name, chosen by the Scottish Canals Corporation, comes from a mythological transforming beast, a Kelpie, which in Celtic mythology is a water spirit that often takes on the form of a black horse-like creature. They were designed by sculptor Andy Scott and were completed in October of 2013. They were built of structural steel, and each of them weighs 300 tons. In their first year, the Kelpies were visited by nearly 1 million people. Basque Nest. These underwater sculptures are one group of many by sculptor Jason DeCare Taylor. Basque Nest consists of 48 life-size figures encircling more figures on the sea floor. The sculptures, which interlock, are providing a platform for marine life to inhabit. As the coral continues to grow on the pH-neutral statues, more and more life will form and it will become a thriving coral reef. The effect of these statues is hauntingly beautiful, and they are certainly an interesting underwater spectacle. The Force of Nature. The Force of Nature is a series of sculptures by Italian artist Lorenzo Quinn. Each one is slightly different, but each portrays a figure of Mother Nature hurling the planet Earth around. After witnessing the aftermath of hurricanes in Thailand, the southern US, as well as other places around the world, Quinn was inspired to create the Force of Nature series. The sculptures are seeking to remind humans living with a false sense of security, end quote, of the power that nature wields, and that we never know what could be coming our way. Made from bronze, stainless steel, and aluminum, these sculptures have been installed in many places, from England and the United States to Monaco and Singapore. Monument of the Anonymous Passerby. In Wrocław, Poland, you'll find these statues, referred to in English as the Monument of the Anonymous Passerby. These lifelike sculptures portray people sinking into the ground on one side of Swedenka Street and coming out on the other side. Created by artist Jerzy Kalina, the bronze monument was installed in December of 2005. It consists of 14 ordinary citizens, 7 on each side of the street. Most interpret it as a memorial to the citizens who were lost or were forced into hiding during a difficult time in Poland in the early 1980s. The re-emergence of the pedestrians rising out of the sidewalk on the other side of the street is seen as a reflection of the return of those citizens in 1983. Truth is Beauty. This sculpture by artist Marco Cochran is 55 feet tall. Truth is Beauty first debuted at the 2013 Burning Man Festival, an event that happens annually in the Black Rock Desert in Nevada. The tall sculpture can be lit up at night by more than 3,000 LED lights that are inside the structure. According to Cochran, this woman is open without the pressures and fears that often come along with having a female body. Cochran created 2 other sculptures in the series, Bliss Dance in 2010 and Our Evolution in 2015, that both are also depictions of the female form. After it appeared at Burning Man, Truth is Beauty also appeared on the Las Vegas Strip for a time, and is now on permanent display at the San Leandro Tech campus in California. The Fremont Troll. The Fremont Troll was created in 1990 when the Fremont Arts Council in Seattle, Washington launched an art competition with the partial goal of rehabilitating the area under the bridge where the troll resides. At that point, the area had become a dumping ground and haven for delinquents. The piece was sculpted by 4 local artists, Steve Bedanes, Will Martin, Donna Walter, and Ross Whitehead, who were inspired by the idea of a troll living under a bridge from Norwegian folklore. In 2005, the small segment of Aurora Avenue under the bridge where the troll is located was renamed Troll Avenue in honor of the sculpture. Horizons. At the top of a hill, surrounded by cows, is this optical illusion known as horizons. What appears to be a drawn piece of paper floating down to settle on the hill is actually a construction made of welded steel. The sculpture was created by Neil Dawson, and it's located in New Zealand in a private art park known as The Farm, which is owned by Alan Gibbs. Horizons was one of the earliest commissioned pieces made for the Gibbs farm in 1994. The sculpture is on one of the highest points in the entire park and can be seen from the road. Because of its positioning, it almost always looks like it's on the horizon. The Headington Shark. The Headington Shark, which is actually titled Untitled 1986, is a rooftop sculpture located at 2 New High Street in Headington, Oxford, England. Created by John Buckley and constructed by Anton Casteau, the sculpture depicts a large shark stuck headfirst in the roof of a house. The shark first appeared on the 9th of August in 1986, commissioned by the house's owner, Bill Heine, a local radio presenter. The sculpture is made of painted fiberglass, and it took 3 months to build. When it first appeared, the shark was controversial, and Oxford City Council tried to have it taken down on the grounds of safety. And when that failed, they tried again, saying that this time it was on the grounds that it had not given planning permission for the shark's construction. There was much local support for the shark, though, and eventually the planning group's argument was assessed, and it was ruled in 1992 that the shark would be allowed to remain. The Head of Franz Kafka. This sculpture by David Czerny depicts Bohemian German-language writer Franz Kafka and is located outside the Quadrio shopping center in Prague in the Czech Republic. Kafka was born and based in Prague and is seen as one of the most influential writers of the 20th century. The sculpture, which is a moving or kinetic sculpture, is made up of 42 mechanized rotating panels and is 11 meters tall. The sculpture is made of 24 tons of stainless steel. The work complements another of Czerny's statues entitled Metamorphosis, named for Kafka's seminal work, which is located in North Carolina. Before we get to our number 1, if you enjoy our videos, consider liking this video, subscribing to our channel, and leaving us a comment. We'd appreciate hearing from you. Number 1. Amazing Laughter. These guys, known as Amazing Laughter, were designed by Yue Min Jun in 2009 and installed in Morton Park in West End, Vancouver. The bronze sculpture is composed of 14 statues and portrays the artist's own image in a state of hysterical laughter. Each one of these is about 3 meters tall and weigh over 250 kilograms. It was created as part of the Vancouver International Sculpture Biennial, exhibiting international contemporary works in public spaces. An inscription carved into cement states, quote, "May this sculpture inspire laughter, playfulness, and joy in all who experience it."